Hello, YouTube yoga friends, the double Y's. Take a minute just to settle that in. And now that people are coming on board, I will welcome you again. Hello, YouTube yoga friends. If you have a cushion or a block or a rolled up blanket or something you might like to sit on, we are going to start seated today. I had thought about starting kneeling and sitting on the heels, but I pulled a muscle in my foot. So we need to listen to the body. Nice to have you all here. My name is Karen, coming to you from Vermont. This is Yoga Intermissions, our 50-minute session together, which some of you are watching live and some of you might be watching recorded. You can sneak your sitting bones forward on whatever prop it is you're seated. Today, it's a bit of a slow flow, finding balance in the body, the breath, and the heart-mind. And I was just taking a little peek at a statue that I bought last week when I was at a studio in Lowell, Mass. And it's a statue of Ganesh or Ganesha, the Lord of the People, known as the Lord of the People. But purchased specifically because Ganesha is known not only for the joy of life, but also the removing of obstacles. I've been thinking about how we often see something as an obstacle or perceive it or create it ourselves when it's something we can knock down, if you will, in terms of our own ability to respond to whatever it is we perceive that's an obstacle. So I had in my head that there were some obstacles regarding the starting of a new project. But as I got into the project on Thursday, the obstacles kind of dissipated without my even working at it. I just settled in and made things happen. And I'm hoping that's what we can do today. So find a tall spine, let the hands rest wherever they will. We're going to work on lion's breath today. So if it feels better for you to sit on your heels, so coming up to your knees and then bringing the knees a little together and bringing the sitting bones onto the heels, you can do that because that tends to be the standard posture for lion's breath, but not something I can demonstrate today, but wanted to still share it with you. The palms are down on the thighs. The tailbone tucks a little forward if you're seated, and even if you're seated on your heels. The lion's breath entails breathing in as deeply as you can, really filling up the whole torso, and a forceful exhalation out the mouth. The eyes widen and the tongue exits the mouth. So we'll take a long, full breath in. Release it. And again, in. Let it go. And one more time. Return to a natural breath. We'll take a little interlude, considering what brought us, what motivated us to the mat today. Might be something aspirational or something really simple, like, my mat was there. Following our natural breath, we'll take 3 more rounds of lion's breath. Huge full breath in. And back to a natural breath. Come back to your motivation. Perhaps that becomes your intention as well, or maybe you establish something separate as your intention. Drop the hands by your sides. The fingers touch the earth, and the the palms are facing more toward the sky. Draw the belly in, tailbone down. Inhale, lift the arms forward, then up, so the palms face behind you. Pause here for a second so that when you exhale, you drop the arms into the shoulders. Inhale, palms face forward. Exhale, hands come down toward the earth. We'll take that more quickly, even though we're taking a slow pace. Palms face up, inhale. Slowly lift the arms all the way to the sky, fingertips reaching, armpits getting long. Exhale, palms face forward, hands come down toward the earth. And one more time, palms face up, inhale, lift as if you're receiving. Palms face forward now as if you are pushing an obstacle or working through an obstacle, arms come down. Palms face up this time, lift them with a breath in, they come outward, right out of the shoulders. Reach, finding your breath. And then bring the arms straight in front of you with the palms facing one another. Some space between the palms and lock the arms back into the shoulders. Breathe in. Exhale, palms together, and then draw the heels of the hands toward your chest. Elbows come outward. It's like a little crossbow. And then lift the fingers toward the sky with the thumb knuckles coming toward the heart. Here we'll surround ourselves with our intentions. We'll start first placing one hand on the heart and the other hand on the back of the first. Coming back to our intentions. We then cup the hands in front of us, palms facing upward. The pinky fingers are connected. We'll imagine our intentions and motivations fill this cup with these hands. And the breath that we exhale, either using a chant of Om or not, will allow those intentions and motivations to surround us, preparing us for setting the stage and the foundation for our practice. Long breath in. Left hand to your heart, right hand down to the earth. Take a breath in. A breath out. As you inhale, left arm reaches for the stars. As you exhale, the tilt over toward the right. Sorry, getting my left and rights mixed up. Doesn't matter. You're tilting toward the hand that is on the ground. Heart lifts. In our slow flow, we lift both arms to the sky. Exhale, opposite hand to the ground. Breathe in, get tall. Exhale, a tilt over toward the hand that's on the ground. As you rise up, the lifted hand comes to your chest. And then the opposite hand comes to the back of that hand. We breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right. Working to keep the sitting bones on the earth. Rotating the navel around the spine. And on a breath out, if you like, the arms might unfurl like a flag, spreading wide in a beautiful wind. Left arm forward, right arm behind you. Gaze moves behind you, maybe even all the way toward the right thumb. And the collarbones and the heart start to smile. Drop the right hand pretty far behind you and reach the left arm high. We're finding a little back bend here. So you're lifting from the top of the pelvis all the way to the sternum and then up to the right under the chin. And take the left hand outside the right thigh. Get tall in the body again. Exhale, twist. As you come front and center, your arms cross. The right arm sweeps over the left. Each hand is on the opposite thigh. Exhale, round the spine. Drop the chin, drop the head. Loosen the calves. A little victory stance as you inhale, the arms reach high, but they're wide. And then we curl the thumbs inward and to the palm and curl the fingertips around the thumbs. Reach, reach, reach. Yes, 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 yes. Victory. Finding control of the breath, guiding the body, using the heart mind rather than the brain. Hands come stacked on your chest. Once again, breathe in. Exhale, twist over to the left. By the way, if you're planning to use the Spotify playlist, you're welcome to start it at any time. Arms unfurl, spreading wide. Take your time, mindful of each movement of muscle, reaching of the arms, the collarbones, the chest, gaze moving toward the left thumb. Left hand drops to the earth behind you, and we find our little back bendy twist. Long, long, long from the right hip bone and sitting bone all the way to the pinky finger. Gather the belly and stack the shoulders over the hips. Right hand comes to the left thigh. Left arm sweeps over the right arm. The hand comes to the opposite thigh. We round the spine, drop the chin, tuck it in. Other rise. Unravel to seated. Lift the arms in a V. And once again, the thumbs fold in to meet the palm and the fingers curl around the thumbs. Ta-da! Victorious. Spread the fingers outward again. Press the palms together overhead. And bend the elbows, bring the fingers to the nape of the neck or between the shoulder blades. Press the head back into the arms. We will begin to add more core and low body work in just a moment. Cactus shape arms. Behind you, scoot the hands. The elbows are bent. You can either stack the hands on your low back, or you can intertwine the fingers, find reverse prayer, or maybe you just hook the fingers. Draw the belly in, lift the front body, the side bodies, open up the collarbones, and then extend the arms so the knuckles come toward the earth. We will take this stance again in the upper body from a standing position. This is just the beginning of opening up the shoulders. Scoop the belly in. Hinge at your hips, drawing the nose down toward the earth. Maybe the hands float a little from the spine or a lot from the spine. Use the belly to lift back up. And by the way, when you're doing your half lifts or lifting back up from a folded position, if you breathe out, that can protect your low back. We're going to come into a tabletop shape. We're going to practice a little Chaturanga. Last week, I think we had some audio difficulties toward the end of class, but we were working on Chaturanga, which is why the recording is still on YouTube. So bring your hands a little forward of your shoulders, fingers nice and wide. Bring your knees a little backwards so you're in sort of a long tabletop. Knees are as wide as your hips. Belly tucks in, tailbone tucks down, and we shift the heart forward of the thumbs. Pause here, drawing the belly in. Sneak the elbows inward like they're bookends for your ribs. Keep the belly strong and lower halfway down. Pause. press back up. Belly's got to work here. See if you can gather the glutes in now. And again, come halfway down. Pause, press back up. One more time. Chaturanga with knees down and press back up. Move into your full tabletop so the heels of the hands scoot backward a bit, letting the wrists come under the shoulders. We'll start to work the low body now, in addition to the core and the breath, by reaching the right leg long off the mat. Square the hips up, reach the heel, and float the left arm. If this is too imbalanced for you, you can always bring the left hand back to the mat. We're pausing here, not just for effect, but for powering things up. The glutes have to activate, the hamstrings, the belly. Exhale, knee and elbow toward one another, or bring your knee to your nose if your hand is on the mat. Press that floor away. Inhale, extend. Exhale, knee to elbow. Breathe and get long. And one more time, use the belly. Ganesh removes the obstacles in our minds. Hand plants, foot stays where it is just for a moment. And then we bend the knee, keeping the foot active, the lifted foot active. Equal weight in both hands. And we pump that knee up and down, using the glutes a lot. This does a little bit of opening or start to opening on the psoas on the right side, the hip flexor, the quad, knee above the right elbow. Maybe it taps, maybe it does not. Breathe in, extend the leg, and the knee comes to the mat. Some might need a little sway left and right. As I mentioned earlier, listen to the body. In many yoga classes, I can only see 10% of what's going on. In a YouTube class, I can see 0% of what's going on with your body. So be mindful of what the body's calling for. Move into some stillness. We take all those shenanigans to the other side. Left leg floats off the mat. Foot is active. Heel reaches behind. Hips square up. Glutes power up. And then the right arm floats. We stay here, really working the belly. Not just pressing into the hand. Use the top of the back of the right foot. Exhale, knee and elbow toward each other. Round your spine. Inhale, extend. Knee to elbow. Breathe in, get long. Nice slow flow, knee and elbow together. Inhale, extend. Hand returns, leg stays where it is. But we find all of the muscles reactivating. Knee bends. Imagine you could step on the clouds with your foot as you pump that leg gently up and down. Knee comes above the left elbow. Lengthen out, breath in. And the knee returns to the mat. Again, checking in, seeing if the body calls for anything, motion or shape. Take that. We'll move into child's pose, which is a place you could, frankly, stay for a whole class if you needed to. Although we're here to find what works best for the body. Sometimes we want, but don't need, full rest. Draw back into the tabletop. Send the hands forward. We're going to do Chaturanga once again with our knees underneath our hips. Heart reaches forward. Belly is strong. Come halfway down. Elbows in. Pause here. And now send your nose, then your chin to the mat. Start to lengthen out so your chest comes to the mat. Hips come to the mat. And we press into a little bitty cobra. Shoulder blades squeezed, navel lifts up. Exhale all the way to the mat. We're going to make our way into a downward facing dog. Maybe pedaling into the dog to see what feels right. Chest energy moving toward the thighs. Gaze between the knees or toward the navel. Wide palms. Rise to the tiptoes. Press the chest toward the thighs on a breath out. Begin to walk the hands backward until it's time for the heels to come down to the mat. And you're in a forward fold with significantly bent knees. You can take a rag doll. Loosening the head without fear of it falling off, because it won't. Release the hands toward the earth and find a little sway. If your fingertips happen to touch your mat, let the texture of the mat speak to you. Glide the fingers or the palms to the shins, right under the kneecaps, and on a breath out, press away with the hands, use the belly, lift halfway up, Ardha Uttanasana. Shoulders toward the hips, sitting bones behind, reach. Exhale, release and fold. Take that again, halfway lift, breath out or in. Exhale, fold. Once again, half lift. Really work that belly, shoulders and collarbones wide. Exhale, forward fold. This time we'll unravel all the way to standing. Take your time, slow flow. A little pause into Tadasana with the hands by the sides before they float outward and upward. Hands land at your heart, Samasthihi. And move into a modified chair pose, keeping the palms together. Sit into the chair that is not there. Weight shifts a little into the right foot so you can come to the top of the left toes. The left heel reaches off the mat. We take a little glide of the left foot out to the left. So the toe is now outside your mat. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the belly. Maybe you even lift that leg a little upward to the left and activate the foot. Come back to your chair pose. Take your time. We take that on the other side. Energy shifts into the left foot. We draw to the tippy toes on the right foot. Right foot glides out to the right. Big toe stays on the mat. We're still in chair. Like a little ice dance. And then maybe we lift up that right leg and activate the foot. Really working the glutes and the thigh. Come back to your chair. Arms float up overhead. Work in the belly. Inhale, rise to standing. Exhale, forward fold. Yogi toe lock. Peace fingers might come around the big toes so that on feet that are a little bit wider than they were. Thumbs rest on the top of the toes. Inhale for a breath in. Inhale for a breath in. Yeah, there you go. Half lift. Elbows bend outward as you fold over your legs. Knees can be super bent. Nod your head and shake your head. If a different bind feels better, like the hands behind the ankles or the heels, you might take that. Release your bind, unwind all the way to standing once again. Take a hold of your left wrist with your right fingertips. Give it a little tug. Get tall all around the torso. Unlock your knees. Exhale, tilt over to the right. We're working a letter C or a half moon shape. If you like, you can cross the left ankle behind the right. I'm not going to attempt that given a sprained foot. And we lift back up, unraveling our ankles if they're raveled up. To take the grasp the opposite way, a little tug, and on a breath out to tilt to the left. Inhale, rise up. Press the palms together. And as mentioned earlier, we will now bend the elbows so the fingertips come between the shoulder blades or to the nape of the neck. If you like, you can always press one palm onto the neck or back and take a hold of that elbow with the other hand. If you decide to take that asymmetrical movement, be sure to do it on the other side. We're going to come back to cactus shape arms. Draw the forearms together in front. And then slowly bend the elbows outward, bring the thumb knuckles to the heart. Fingers spread wide front to back. Part of our slow flow today is a slow meditative walk forward on the mat. You might try going toe to heel. So once you lift the foot up, send it forward, toes come to the mat, ball of the foot, then the heel. And the back foot lifts. Bring it forward, toes land, ball of the foot, and the heel. Take your time. Really feel what this feels like. Where are you finding your balance? Where are you finding your intention? Where are you observant of obstacles? Once you meet the feet at the front of the mat, we're going to move back into a chair pose, this time with the arms high. Belly strong. We'll be here for a while because we're going to move into a twist. Left arm forward, right arm behind. If you can sink lower, go ahead. If you need to adjust your feet, go ahead. Gaze is over toward the right thumb. It's as if you're squeezing a block between your knees. As you draw front and center, arms lift overhead again. Next breath out, a twist to the left. East, west pose, right arm forward, left arm behind. Really warms up the cockles of your heart when you stay in chair. Arms overhead, we're almost done. Cactus shape arms, and the hands come behind you once again. The opposite hand on top or the opposite index finger on top. Broaden the collarbones, tuck the tailbone. Knuckles toward the earth. Ooh, the thighs are starting to go, hey, remember me? Exhale, forward fold over your legs. Maybe your hands float from your spine. Breathe in. Exhale, hands draw to the mat. Breathe in. Exhale, lift halfway up. Breathe in. Exhale, fold over your legs. Step your left foot halfway back on your mat. So the big toes, or all the toes of the left foot, are pointing to the upper left corner of your mat. Tanasana, pyramid pose. Equal weight into the feet. So the right hip is moving backward. The left hip, the front of the left hip faces the mat. Drop your head. Crawl your hands forward about 2 inches. Bend your front knee and then draw the left knee toward your nose. Stretch the left leg behind, almost as if you're going to stay in a standing split, but we will not. You're going to come to a warrior 2. Stepping your left foot to the back of the mat, bringing it parallel to the mat, and windmilling the arms up and out. W2, the warrior. Veerabhadrasana 2, adjusting as need be. My back leg was not quite far enough away from my front heel. We've powered up the triceps. The right knee is moving back in space and bending forward. Nice slow flow. Flip your front palm, reverse the warrior. Keep your torso as it is, extend your front leg. Pause here. Lift the heart, draw the belly in, bend your front knee. Warrior two. Side angle, right forearm inside the thigh, left arm overhead, maybe straight up, maybe the bicep by the ear, the heart lifts. Drop the right arm longer and lower, and reach the left arm forward. Come back to your warrior two. Reverse your warrior. Unbend your front knee. Bend your front knee. Warrior two. Side angle. Release the right arm from the thigh. Drop it lower. Lift the left arm forward. Use the belly a lot and the glutes. Warrior two. Reverse. Extend your front leg. Keep the front knee straight, so unbended, as it were. Warrior two arms. Prepare for triangle pose and shift the left hip toward the left outer edge of the left foot as the right arm reaches forward, 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 till it can't go anymore. Right hand drops, left arm floats high, working to have this beautiful straight line from the right fingertips to the left. Mine was a little curvy. We're going to come back to warrior two, bending the front knee, arms reach out, the hands come to the hips. Pivot on the right heel so the right toes face the same way as the left. Even out your stance. We're going to find a wide-legged forward fold. It's really fun to play with the sensations of this. So take your fingertips and kind of press them into the hip creases. Keep the belly strong, drop the shoulders from the ears, and lower halfway down. So the sitting bones start to reach backward. This might be where you stay, or maybe you have blocks or something that you place now on the mat. You might come all the way down into a fold. You might play with how wide your stance is or narrow your stance is. You might bring the forearms to the mat. Wherever you go, it's as if you're lifting up the energy from the earth right up the inner arches and up your inseams, and simultaneously pressing the floor away with the outer edge of your foot and your heels to lift the hips toward the sky. If you like that idea of playing around with texture, maybe you take a sway left and right, like we did at the back of the mat. Nod your head and shake your head. Hands draw back to the hips and lift halfway up. Shoulders away from the ears, lift all the way up. We're going to step back to the front of the mat. Arms float high. Take your time. Slow flow. Exhale, forward fold. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Uttanasana, forward fold. Right foot steps halfway back on the mat. Toes point toward the upper right corner of the mat, and we create equilibrium between the feet for our pyramid pose. Left hip drawing back in space, right hip facing the mat. Making sure we're using the back heel and the ball of the front foot. Drop your head. Hands crawl forward about 2 to 3 inches. Draw the right knee into your nose. Extend the right leg as if you're coming to a standing split. And step the foot way to the back of the mat. Outer edge of the foot parallels the back of the mat. And we windmill into our warrior two, facing in the opposite direction. Just finding all those little bits and pieces, all the components that start to stack and position themselves. And find the ultimate warrior two for your body, your heart, mind, your breath right here in this moment. Reach the fingertips, draw the pelvis forward. Flip your front palm, slowly reverse the warrior. Keep that front knee bent for a moment. Then press the leg long, unbend the knee. Lift the heart, draw the belly in. Bend back into the front knee. Warrior two. Side angle, forearm inside the thigh. Right arm either straight toward the sky or over the ear. Open the heart, really extend that back leg, power it up. And then we loosen the left arm from the thigh and bring the right forearm, the right bicep over the ear. Come back to our warrior two. Reverse. Unbend your front knee. Rebend your front knee. Warrior two. Side angle. Extend your side angle, loosening the forearm from the thigh, lowering the hand, and the right bicep over the ear. Belly super strong, come back to warrior two. Reverse it. Unbend your front knee. Adjust as you need to, preparing for triangle, Trikonasana. Arms come outward. Torso shifts forward over the left foot until it can't shift anymore and the left hand drops, the right arm floats high. Triangle pose. We'll return to warrior two, just to reverse it. And sweep the hands inside the left foot, beginning to come down to the mat. Drop the back knee to the earth. Heel toe the left foot out to the left. It's your choice here, whether you would like to go into a lizard twist or a full lizard, maybe adding a quad stretch if you so desire. So for the twist, the toes point to the left, front toes point to the left. Hand comes inside your left knee as you press the knee away and press the pelvis forward. If you like to add a quad stretch, the right knee bends and you can reach around with the left hand toward the right foot. Maybe the foot and the hand touch. You could start there or move straight into lizard where the toe and the heel of the left foot are parallel. The foot peels open like a book, and then maybe staying with the hands planted under the shoulders and loosening the back of the neck, or you walk the hands forward until the forearms come to a block or the mat. Wherever you go, belly is helping out and the pelvis is shifting forward. Two more full cycles of breath. Hands plant underneath the shoulders. Sole of the left foot plants on the mat, back toes tuck under. We're now in, as we lift the right knee off the mat, we're in sort of a wide runner's lunge. We're going to walk to the long edge of the mat and then walk backward to the back of the mat. to find our lizard twist or lizard on the opposite side. Right foot out to the right, all the way to the edge of the mat. If you're taking your twist first, right toes point outward. Right hand inside the knee, press the knee away. And then if you like your quad stretch, you bend the left knee, reaching around with the right hand. Maybe it grasps the foot, maybe it does not. Pelvis shifts forward. When you're ready, if it makes sense for your body, the heel and the toes come parallel. The right foot opens up like a book, and the hands walk forward, maybe unbent elbows or maybe elbows bend for the forearms to come to the mat. One more round of breath before you work your way out of this posture. Coming into a wide-legged runner's lunge like we did on the other side. And walking once again to the long edge of the mat, simply to make your way to the front of the mat, into a tabletop. From tabletop, the ankles cross. We roll over the feet. In my case, we don't. Shift onto the right hip. Come to a seat. We're going to work a little core. So feet in front of the hips, and they are sneaking forward a little bit. Palms on the kneecaps, and we lift the heart. Draw the tailbone forward. Reach the arms in front, then lock them back into the shoulders. The hands are as wide as the shoulders. Breathe in. As you exhale, a twist over toward the right, keeping the hands shoulder distance apart. Press the big toe mounds of the feet to the earth. Breathe in, come to the middle. Exhale, twist to the other side. Breathe in, come to the middle. Exhale, lower part way down, just a couple of inches. Breathe in. Exhale, a twist to the right. Ooh, yeah. Breathe in. Stay here. Breathe in, come to the middle. Exhale, twist to the opposite side. Full round of breath. Inhale toward the middle. Exhale, come part way down. Last round, breathe in. Exhale, twist to the right. Full round. Inhale, center, lift your heart. Exhale, twist to the other side. Last cycle of breath. Inhale, center. Exhale, slowly roll all the way down to the mat. Full body stretch, legs long, arms overhead. Maybe the thumbs hook. Breathe in to reach, get tall, get taller, get tallest. Exhale, let it all go. Hands to the sides, palms face down, and the soles of the feet come to the mat. If you have low back issues, bring your feet a little farther away from your seat. Everyone, tuck your chin. Allow the shoulder blades to meet the mat. That might mean lifting and replacing them onto the mat. Just going to take 2 bridge back bends here. If you prefer something restorative, you might place a blanket rolled up or a block or a cushion underneath your low back. But while you do that, you're working the shoulder blades together to lift the heart. Otherwise, for our bridge, tilt the pelvis toward the sky. Press energy into the hands and the feet. Imagine you're dragging the mat back with your feet to shift the knees forward and the hips off the ground. We squeeze the hamstrings, we squeeze the glutes, we lift the pelvis, and then maybe the shoulder blades snuggle in toward each other. So get a little bit more height to lift the heart. We're using the backs of the arms and the fingertips. Some might be able to bind their hands underneath their low back. We really want to work the pelvis upward, the glutes and the hamstrings nice and powered up. Slowly unzip the spine, top to bottom, coming all the way to the mat. If you need a little interstitial here, you might shift the low back a little longer. You might even move the feet apart and drop the knees together for a moment. Not windshield wipering. You don't want to totally undo what we just did because we're going to move into one more back bend. And when you're ready, feet wide, hips distance, knees apart. You might even place a block between your knees. Energy into the hands and the feet. Knees shift forward, hips float. Pelvis lifts, glutes power up, hamstrings join them. Shoulder blades sneak in toward each other. And the heart lifts, breathing here for 6. Press the pelvis high. 5. Lengthen that lower back. 4. 3, 2, and 1. Drawing the spine all the way to the earth. Lengthening the low back out. We hug the knees into the heart. You can either find knee circles or rock left and right, your choice. Drop the soles of the feet to the earth. Shift the hips over to the left. Drop the knees to the right. They can stack or stagger. Let the arms flop outward with the gaze moving either toward the sky or toward the left hand. A little supine twist. Allowing the breath to remove any energetic obstacles. And giving the body the opportunity to enjoy the life of this moment. One more round of breath. Bring the spine back to the earth, the feet back to the earth. Shift your hips to the opposite side of the mat. Drop the knees to the left. Nose or gaze moves over the right shoulder. Huge full breath in. Release it. Bring this spine back to the earth and then make it as straight as it would normally be, top to bottom. We're going to take supine figure 4 today for our final hip opener. The right ankle crosses above the left knee and the right foot activates. The low back is all the way on the ground. Maybe you stay here pressing the right knee away and down, or perhaps the left knee gathers toward your shoulder. The hands come to either the back of the left thigh or the shin. We settle the shoulder blades back down, activate both feet to protect knees, and use the right elbow to press the right knee away, even as we're drawing the left knee inward. Sole of the left foot plants on the mat, and the right leg extends to the sky. Now, choices here as well. If you're feeling pretty stretchy, you can extend the left leg onto the earth and walk the hands up to the right calf or ankle, or maybe even the big toe. You might decide to use the opportunity to send the right leg out to the right. And take your time with all of this, play around with it, see what works for you, what the body is calling for. No obstacles in your way. If the sole of the left foot is on the ground still, make sure that big toe mound is in use. It loves to float away. If the left leg is long on the earth, bend it once again, meeting with the sole of the left foot on the earth, the knee bent to the sky. We're going to hug the right knee in toward the armpit, compressing the belly with the thigh. Ankle circles with the right foot. Open and close the toes. Right foot returns to the mat, supine figure 4, other side. Left ankle crosses above the right knee. Again, remaining here, using your hands to help, or allowing the right knee to come toward the right shoulder. Sole of the right foot returns to the mat. Left leg reaches for the sky. Playing around as you did on the other side, taking it slowly, no rushed movements, no impulse response. If the right leg is long on the mat, bend the knee once more, bringing the sole of the foot to the mat. Left knee bends and you hug it into your left shoulder. Ankle circles. Open and close your toes. And then both knees hug in. Give them a really nice squeeze. Keeping the hands by the sides, extend both legs to the sky. The legs are feeling heavy, like they have dropped into your hips. And the heels reach to the sky. Shoulders creep away from the ears, belly is strong. If you like, or if this is too much on your low back, you can glide the hands underneath your low back, stacking them. And one more time, when you're ready, the knees come in toward the armpits. If you would like to take a happy baby, go ahead and make that happen. Or you can just hug the knees in and rock left and right. And when you are ready, you'll move into your final resting posture. That might be a Supta Baddha Konasana. You might have virtual or actual legs up the wall. Or maybe you're in the more traditional Shavasana posture. Legs long on the mat, arms long by your sides. Palms face up, feet flop outward. The whole body softens as if you've become one with your mat, with the floor, with whatever is under your floor, with the earth. Big, extensive inhale. Huge, complete exhale. A roll onto one side and a return to your seat. Palms come together at your heart. Close the eyes. Consider once again your motivation, your intention, and maybe the possibilities of any obstacles that you face or perceive today. The possibility of them just melting into dust. We'll close with the sound of Om, sharing all the merits of this practice, not only with ourselves, but with all those in need. Big breath in. Thumb knuckles meet your center forehead. We honor the light in one another. Namaste. Well, I hope you feel as open and calm as I do in this moment. And I hope to see you again. If you have a chance to donate and you have the funds to do so, please go to saltandsandstudios.com for that. Please share this practice with others. The recordings are available. There's probably close to 100 now. And we are live for the remainder of this season, at least at 9 a.m. on Saturdays Eastern. That might switch as we move into the colder weather, but we'll see what that brings. It was wonderful to practice with you. I hope you have a great day, great evening, and see you soon. My name is Karen from Salt and Sand Studios. This is Yoga Intermissions. Try this at home.